Good morning. I'm Sports Director David Pingalore. If you live in Central Florida and you love college football, this is the place to be on this morning. There are not one, not two, but 3 bowl games here in Orlando between now and New Year's Day. Very exciting. In just a moment, we're going to talk with 2 of the people responsible for making Orlando a college football destination. I'm sure you recognize Mayor Buddy Dyer. He's ready to go. And, of course, Alan Gooch to his right. But first, on Flashpoint. What's the phrase? If you build it, they will come. That's true here in Central Florida, of course. We renovated the Citrus Bowl, turned it into a state-of-the-art facility, and now 6 college football teams and their fans are coming here for the holidays.
Hey guys, you need a big drive.
I'm sure you've seen the commercials.
Score big savings at AutoNation's sales drive. Now go get them. Oh, and try yellow right halfback screen on 2.
AutoNation, the #1 seller of cars, trucks, and SUVs in America, is getting into the college football business, joining with the Orlando Sports Foundation to bring a 3rd bowl game here to Central Florida.
AutoNation, official sponsor of the AutoNation Cure Bowl.
The inaugural AutoNation Cure Bowl, presented by Florida Hospital, is set for this Saturday, December 19th. Georgia State will take on San Jose State in the first game of the bowl season.
Every ticket sold will benefit the Breast Cancer Research Foundation and their mission to find a cure for breast cancer.
Then we get to the games organized by Florida Citrus Sports. First, it's North Carolina and Baylor in the Russell Athletic Bowl, December 29th. Both teams score a lot of points.
This should be a fireworks show. So we're as excited as we can be. We think this sets up to be one of the best television games of the season.
Steve Hogan is the CEO of Florida Citrus Sports. Showcasing Orlando and the new Citrus Bowl on television is part of his job. Hogan says if you like North Carolina and Baylor, you'll love Florida, Michigan in the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl New Year's Day.
I think it's just going to be fun. A lot of great storylines. Coach Harbaugh coming back and having Michigan come here to town and having the first opportunity to host them for a bowl game on the way up is a great experience. Certainly, I don't think a lot of people saw what Coach McElwain's done with the University of Florida or saw that coming. But getting a chance to stay local and have something to prove against an opponent of this caliber, I think the Gator fans are going to have something to get really excited about. So across the board, this is the best possible matchup we could have put together. It just kind of happened, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
And with me right now, 2 gentlemen excited about the upcoming bowl games, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer and Cure Bowl CEO Alan Gooch. Thanks for being here on this Sunday morning.
Great to be with you, Ping.
All right, Mayor, 3 bowl games better than 2?
3 bowl games are great. We're the only stadium in the country that hosts 3 bowl games. So adding the Cure Bowl to the lineup is fantastic.
You know, I got a ton of questions for you. You guys, I'm going to quiz you pretty good on Flashpoint here. Mayor, have you ever tried to put a dollar figure on the free publicity, you could call it? You know, these games were shown nationally, globally, that the dollar amount from a marketing standpoint?
What's so great about the time of year, so if you're in Buffalo in 6 feet of snow or Wisconsin or somewhere like that, and then you have a beautiful December or January 1st day in Orlando, you can't put a price tag on that type of advertising.
You know, in the political world and what you do for a living, what does it mean, you know, maybe the average person doesn't really get this. What does the economic impact mean for a community?
Oh, it's tens of millions of dollars, because you think about the Michigan fans that are going to travel here, and they're not just going to come in overnight. They're going to come and stay for probably 3 to 5 days, maybe a week, visit the attractions. So the tourist folks, when we were putting together the original venues package, the Citrus Bowl was what they really cared about, because that's where the heads and beds are generated, are the events at the Citrus Bowl.
You know, I'll be like the cynical guy. I guess that's kind of how I am. But so if there's, you know, people may believe that they're filled anyway. What do you say to those people? Like the hotels and restaurants are already filled up without the bowl games.
No. Well, if you bring, okay, there's going to be Florida, Michigan games already sold out, so
right.
That's 62,000 something. Actually, we've added stands, so it's in excess of what the stadium actually holds. And then everybody ancillary to that fills lots of hotel rooms, and not all the hotels are full all the time. So any big event that we can bring brings a lot of dollars into our community, and this is tens of millions of dollars.
So everybody like watching right now, see, there's a major economic impact.
Oh,
because people will say, they just say,
would the tourism community be willing to spend tourist development tax on the stadium if you're not generating heads and beds for them?
I totally agree with you, but you know, I hear people go,
actually,
oh, they're full of it.
No, they would be, because they're very committed to our community as well.
I mean, it's all about tourism. right, here in Central Florida? I mean,
Well,
that's not all about
providing our residents with it's quality of life for
Right.
me. I mean, my favorite sport is college football, so I am terribly excited every bowl season and probably watch a game every night on TV. But to have great games here in our community and to have 3, we just kind of one up some of the other communities.
I mean, you got 3 bowl games, pretty impressive. And Alan Gooch is here, CEO of the Cure Bowl, exciting. December 19th, as we just talked about there, and in that little piece there, Georgia State, San Jose State. What is your relationship like, you know, as you built this project? And do you talk a lot about leading up to this type of bowl game?
Sure. Ping, actually, when this all got started, there were a few networks, television, ESPN, Fox, CBS, that were looking to do a 3rd bowl game in this market. Like the mayor said, everybody was on board, understood that the Citrus Bowl at some point was going to be renovated. If that happened, this would be a perfect place to have 3 games. So the television groups that had an interest reached out and to some local people. We formed a group. Within that group, there were some individuals, women that were actually diagnosed with breast cancer, and you know, we knew it would be tough to try to you know, go head-to-head with Florida Citrus Sports, for example, to try to put a bowl game on. But we felt like during that time, some of those ladies that came to us, you know, if we put the cause out front, then that would be different and unique, actually not from only the 2 games here, but the rest of the country. So that's when we made a decision to put our cause out front and created the Cure Bowl. Everything moved from there. But no question about it. So much interest around the country in having an opportunity to come to Central Florida. And like you said, and like the mayor said, always an opportunity to fill hotels and restaurants. We actually, the Cure Bowl feels a great time, that post-Thanksgiving and that pre-Christmas time when there is a little bit more of a dead time. And so our hotel and accommodation partner, Universal Studios, is very happy that we're filling some of that dead time.
It is certainly a unique bowl. I mean, you're playing a football game to raise and have awareness for something that is a major deal across the country, breast cancer. Yeah. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, the ladies that were involved with some of the men that were involved in this, you know, they had some Florida Citrus Sports ties, and everybody understands that every bowl has a charity partner. And this group actually had the cart way before the horse, and the women that were involved felt like, well, you know, they were being touched and fighting breast cancer at that time, that breast cancer should be the cause. I actually was at a community event where this group was having a side meeting, and 3 or 4 ladies came up with their bandanas on, obviously struggling and going under chemo with their treatments at that time, and came up and said, you know, we think this is a great idea. Coach, we know you got a lot going on, but cancer takes no holiday. I left that meeting, went home, told my wife, you know, if we made the bowl about that, then I think that we would have something that people are going to show up to, not just to watch a football game, but this is a fundraiser where a football game is breaking out.
That is certainly the unique aspect of that. I mean, yeah. You're creating that awareness. I mean, I can't think of any bowl game that has ever gone down that road, right? There's not one out there. So here to help you out, sell some tickets, because it's the first bowl game of the season.
Thank you.
I got to help you out here. So there you go. Georgia State, San Jose State. We're just like 6 days away. It's this coming Saturday. Tickets on sale now, starting at $22. You know, Ticketmaster locations, including Amway Center, curebowl.com. There's a telephone number. Alan, I've got it. There it is. Yeah. There is no excuse for college football fans not to attend this game, not only to watch a pretty good matchup there, and I mean, who gets to watch San Jose State and Georgia State?
Great East-West matchup.
Right?
Yep.
So come on out. I mean, that's the message, right?
That's right. That's right. Get out there and support us. Watch some great football. Great cause.
How many tickets would you like to sell for an inaugural bowl game?
Well, you know, great question. And when we were developing this, you have to build a budget on something. So between 21 and 25,000 is typical pre-Christmas inaugural bowl with non-Power 5 conferences. So that's where we'd like to fall.
Were you ever skeptical of a bowl like this? Were you ever like this type of bowl where you're creating awareness for breast cancer? I mean, were you ever thinking this may not work, it could work, and not necessarily for breast cancer, but a new bowl game, as we just talked about, the 3rd bowl game? I mean, were you ever like, oh, this may not work?
I was not sold until the ladies came up with bandanas on their head. Then I was sold on the fact that I thought that we could do something, one, that was unique to America, but two, be a partner, you know, not battle for just that football ticket here in Central Florida with Florida Citrus Sports, but be a partner with Buddy and the rest of the community, do something unique and bring this bowl.
And Ping, I think they're going to attract people that aren't necessarily football
Right.
fans either. There will be people that are coming specifically
Yes.
to support the breast cancer research aspect.
That's right.
Mayor, my question here is, we get a lot of questions. I love when the mayor comes in. I love Mayor Buddy Dyer. This is my question for you. This really fits what you're about and what Orlando's about, the brand, right? I mean, what your awareness is and what the Cure Bowl is all about. This kind of fits your agenda a little bit.
It does. We're promoting ourselves as a industry cluster for life sciences and research, biomedical, so highlighting through one of our premier tourist events. It's broadcast nationally that we're all about cancer research here. Does fit right in with what we're doing.
When did you first believe a medical identity was good for Orlando?
Well, we have been trying to diversify our economy for as long as I can remember. Never disparage our tourism economy and our home building economy, but during the recession, we were reminded that it's important to have diversification. And in the area of biomedical and life sciences during the course of the recession, they actually increased the number of jobs they have while most other industries were decreasing. So that's pretty convincing and pretty compelling right there.
There's a lot of great things going on here in Orlando. The stadium, the new soccer stadium being built, the tennis courts out in Lake Nono. Another great project.
USTA is opening the new home of American tennis, or they're underway, and there's going to be 106 courts. It will be the player development center for the entire United States. UCF is going to co-locate their facilities. So if you're a college tennis player, where would you rather play tennis than at the University of Central Florida going forward from here? Sunrail's in its second year of operation. The 3 original venues are open for business. The Performing Arts Center, the Amway Center, which, by the way, is the best arena in the world, and of course the renovated Citrus Bowl. And I would put the Citrus Bowl, and that's the one I'm most proud of because we accomplished that in basically 10 months on a pretty limited budget, but I would put that up against almost all of the NFL stadiums, maybe not Dallas, maybe not Atlanta,
right, I get that, yeah.
But the rest of them, I think we're comparable.
I've been in a number of NFL stadiums throughout my career. I think you're dead on there. I mean, Dallas is like, Jerry's World. Atlanta, I was up there last weekend for the SEC championship game. But what you guys have done here in Orlando with the Citrus Bowl, and I tell people that have not been there since it's been renovated, they would be like, really? It's unbelievable.
It's a really quality experience, and we would not have been able to attract the events that we have attracted. The Rolling Stones would not have played in our old stadium. We announced that we're one of the host cities for Copa coming up in June of next year. We would not have gotten that. Probably wouldn't have got the U.S. women's soccer friendly here. So all of those events are coming because of our investment in our facilities.
Lots of great things going on. We continue with Flashpoint. I'm telling you, I can't wait to get to the 3 football bowl game picks with these guys. Mayor Buddy Dyer's pick and Alan Gooch coming your way right after this on Flashpoint.
Did you see my...
Welcome back to Flashpoint. I'm Sports Director David Pingalore. It's not every Sunday that I get to interview the mayor of Orlando. Glad to have Buddy Dyer here along with Alan Gooch, the CEO of the Cure Bowl. Mayor, I said at the top of this show, if you build it, they will come. In Orlando, here, college football fans and just sports fans in general, maybe one day National Football Championship from college could be here. Maybe.
Well, we have a stadium now, and if you think about it, between the Citrus Bowl, the new soccer stadium, and the Amway Center, there's not a sport that we can't host in one of those venues, because the soccer stadium would be 25 to 27,000, something like that. So we can host virtually anything somebody could bring to us. Certainly NFL preseason, or even we've had conversations with the Bucks about a regular season game, potentially. And you mentioned the national championship game. We chose not to bid in this last go-round, in part because we'd probably have to do a couple other things to the Citrus Bowl. And then with I-4 torn up, it just didn't seem like the right time to go for that. And we want to see when they settle down on what the actual requirements for a national championship game, because the first one was in Dallas, and they had specs for like 100 suites. We don't have 100 suites. We could never get to 100 suites, but I think they'll settle down at some point because there's only a couple stadiums like that that could compete under that scenario.
What's the reaction been in kind of preliminary talks with the Bucks, Jags, maybe of something, not only an NFL preseason game, but maybe a regular season game?
There's great interest among the Bucks, and part of the issue has to do with, okay, if they're moving one of their home games or an exhibition and they have advertisers in their stadium. Florida Citrus Sports has sold the advertising in our stadium, so that's one of the hang-ups, is coming to agreement on what you do about the advertising.
Alan, I'm going to get back to the Cure Bowl real quickly here. It's important for your bowl, obviously, to get this community involved to come to the game because, I mean, you have, Georgia State and San Jose State, going to be bringing a lot of families and a little bit of their fan base, but people here got to kind of rally around a little bit, and you got to get that rally going, I would imagine. Absolutely, Ping. And Auto Nation has done a great job. 15 locations here in Central Florida. They have already bought themselves 2,000 tickets over their sponsorship tickets, so we're going to see a lot of Auto Nation employees coming in. They're really rallying behind their title sponsor. And then Florida Hospital is our presenting sponsor, and the Pink Army has been great. We're at 17,000 tickets right now. We'd like to get to that 21, 22 to make our budget and to make that presentation check in the second quarter of the game to BCRF really means something. But you're right, we need the community to come out and support. Everybody that's been touched by cancer in some form or fashion, come out and support us. Breast Cancer Research Foundation is our charity partner. 91 cents of every dollar goes to research. The 70th annual Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl, 70th annual. Can imagine putting together a bowl game. I just could not imagine that. So an inaugural bowl game, this goes back 7 years, just the process of it? Yeah, I mean, it's a process and a work. I was reminded, and Mayor Buddy probably not remembers, but, back in 1945 when the Tangerine started, it was Catawba Maryville, right? But you look at that, I was reminded by one of our board members that was a part of that original group and said, look, this is where it starts, this kind of stuff. So it takes a lot of work, but we have a great group, a great team of people putting this thing together. I'm speaking for them, but there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of work.
And I think Georgia State has not played in a bowl game before.
No,
right?
sir.
So that would be exciting.
Their first bowl, our first bowl, it's going to be awesome. San Jose State, this is going to be their 10th bowl appearance. And there's going to be some fireworks in our game as well. They've got a great offense. Georgia State won their last 4 to be bowl eligible. Trent Miles, the head coach, is the coach of the year for the Sun Belt. Their quarterback is the player of the year for the Sun Belt. Their freshman is the freshman of the year, wide receiver. 12 players on their team, conference honors. San Jose State's got a punter that's in the Home Depot college show tonight. So some good stuff. Good football, not just the cause, but good football. Georgia State is 7 hours away up there in Atlanta,
That's so you got to get some people driving down from Georgia. We got one more break to get in here, and when we come back, I'm going to ask the mayor, is there a downside to have a home team like the Gators playing a bowl game? Don't answer yet, Mayor. I'm David Pingalore, sports director here on News 6. It's Flashpoint with the mayor and Alan Gooch. All right, the Cure Bowl is this Saturday, December 19th, 7 o'clock. Georgia State versus San Jose State. Tickets start at $22. It's an incredible price for any college football game. Oh, by the way, you can get tickets at any Ticketmaster location, including Amway Center, at curebowl.com, or call toll-free 1-800-745-3000. Exciting weeks ahead here in Orlando. And Mayor Buddy Dyer, what gets you excited about the Cure Bowl?
One thing that we haven't talked about is the direct connect to the medical city and the cancer research that's being done out there. Actually, I'll let Alan talk about the cancer assassin, which I think is a really cool story.
It is, buddy, it is. Dr. Annette Khalid, who's a UCF researcher at the UCF Medical School in the Medical City, was awarded by our charity partner, BCRF, a $250,000 grant for her research, and she's already shown progress with it. So we haven't kicked off the game, and we're already making progress with cancer research. But that's the thing that we need. We need people to come out to help us move that forward and continue to fund our cancer assassin out at UCF, Dr. Annette Khalid.
I like that. Yeah. How much money would you like to hope to raise?
Auto Nation is going to come with a big number. I don't want to watch the game, and you're going to see the check, but they're going to come with a big number. It's going to be impressive. We're going to break a record that has ever been given by a bowl to its charity partner in a single year.
How did you get AutoNation involved?
Well, AutoNation has a cancer awareness group within their foundation already. Mike Jackson, the CEO of AutoNation, his wife Alice is a cancer survivor, and a lot of individuals. So they decided, the individuals in their group have been touched by cancer, like all of us, but they decided to make that their charity group. We made the introduction, AutoNation, to BCRF, and take it the rest from there. Yeah, they're very happy about what BCRF does with their money. 91 cents of every dollar they raise goes to cancer research. It's big.
That's pretty big. Mayor, back to the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl on January 1st. Gators, Michigan, two big teams, two big states, obviously, big interest. I say on paper it's the best matchup, just from a state.
Well, the
state
compelling
level.
thing is first-year coaches that exceeded expectations, and certainly in the case of Coach Mack at the Gators, or for the Gators, we didn't anticipate a 10-win season this year.
Does it lessen the impact at all economically? We got like a minute to go here because it's the Gators. They sold out in like 2 days. But
No, they sold out like in an hour.
In an hour. But does it lessen the impact from the community because they're just up the road?
No, not
okay.
at all, not at all. And to have a sellout and the interest in the game like that, there'll be lots of people that come here that don't even go to the game, that just come for the experience.
All right, Alan, your game, give me a winner. Cure Bowl.
Oh, I can't pick a winner. I'm the executive director.
Okay.
The winner is going to be everybody that comes and has an opportunity to support cancer research. That's the winner.
Gators or Michigan?
I like the Gators for that.
Gators or Michigan?
Oh, come on, Gators.
Okay, Russell Athletic Bowl, Baylor, North Carolina.
Baylor.
Baylor, assuming they have a quarterback playing quarterback and not a wide receiver playing quarterback.
I'm going to say Georgia State, North Carolina wins in Michigan. Easy winner against the Gators. Oh, he's like, no.
You want to double down?
Double down. All right, that's Flashpoint for this week. I'm Sports Director David Pingalore. Thank you, Alan Gooch. Thank you, Mayor Buddy Dyer from Orlando. Enjoy the rest of your NFL Sunday.